Genshin Impact announces the Artifact Fast Equip function now supports save and switch custom loadouts. But is this true? Hey everybody, Coded Creations here, and welcome back to another video. And today we are going to be discussing why this specific dev note is not as nice as it seems. Because the system, while it works to have quote-unquote custom loadouts, is not only very convoluted, but is very hard to access and figure out if you don't know what you're doing with the entire thing. But yes, I read the entire thing, so you don't have to. We're not just going to cover only the Artifact Loadouts section. We're going to cover everything else in the dev notes, but I would appreciate it if you leave a like and subscribe, as taking all this together puts all in a lot of effort. But in general, I also want to just say why I haven't really made videos on this thing in a while, because people, if you know my channel, I have been doing this ever since they started the dev note shenanigans all the way back you know, in 4.0 Fontaine, because it's a really good thing. I think developers discussion, not only because it's the one game that actually has been very consistent with it. HSR, ZZZ, they have it, but it's a little inconsistent you know, when they post it. But this one always, every single month. But the problem is that eventually you know, these dev notes from Genshin, once the dead patch kind of hits after the Archon quest, they start throwing just random BS at the wall. And it sucks, because this was a genuine sign to show that Genshin was actually listening to our feedback and changing. But then once those dead patches hit, they just completely like, hey guys, we changed this one thing. We know you have a lot of other complaints, but we're not going to bother, so too bad. But yeah, like, this is as close as we can get to the Artifact Loadout system, so it's really important that we go ahead and just check out what the heck am I talking about. So if you didn't know, for the past year, Genshin has been trying to pretend to add Artifact Loadouts, and that's even shown in these thumbnails here. But today there has been a massive development in how this whole system works, and you can see all these menus and whatnot. It's like, what the freak is happening and whatnot. But let's go ahead and explain exactly how it works with a little quick of a presentation. So this is the current system available inside Genshin, and it's very important for people to understand how this works. So this is the fast equip function, and the general use of fast equip function is so that people who don't really know what they're doing can just press the button. But of course, what we want as players is a custom loadout where I can customize what pieces I want and I can save it, which is currently not in the game. That's what we're going to get to later in this dev note video. But as you can see, I'm doing an example here. I'm showing the loadout I have on Haytham, because it's a character I switch artifacts on very frequently, because he has two sets that are very good on him. And I'm showing these two pieces because these are going to be switched automatically by the game, even though I don't want that. So we're going to flip to the next page. Once I click fast equip, it's going to go into custom configuration, or quick configuration, which is just automatically do whatever you want, right? But I want to customize it. Okay, so boom, let's click customize configuration. Now I get this menu where I need to set the substats and artifact sets and whatever else I want on the character. Now this is super important, because if you think, oh well, to make sure you get that Dendro Goblet bonus, just make sure you put it in here. No, that's not what you do. If you added the the one here, which is the burning set, I would actually get half burning set, half deep wood. That's not what I want. So leave it as one set, and then just set your prefixes on the top, and then set these in here and whatnot, and then click generate. Now boom, we can see that the game has generated us a loadout, and this has always been super contentious among the players, because here's the thing, it shows you the stats and whatnot, but this is not what I want, of course, because not only does your account evolve over time, you know, inside Genshin you can always get a new and better artifact that you think is better, but the game will disagree with you based on numbers. And also, it doesn't account for off pieces. For example, it's taking artifacts from Nahida, Kale, and Arlecchino. Little does the game know that the reason I put this timepiece inside Nahida is because it has more elemental mastery. Alhaitham needs elemental mastery, but not that much elemental mastery, and that's not something the computer can figure out. That's something that you as a player would know, and that's super duper annoying. So the way you can fix this right now in game is that you can click check alternatives to manually adjust what you want to do. And by the way, oh, hit generate again, hit better filters. No, it doesn't work like that. The accounts in Genshin are so varied that literally things could change all over the place at any time, and you just gotta do it manually, and why people want it to be done manually. So anyways, click check alternatives, and then you're going to now have the simplest option of just being able to click and switch whatever you want. So let's see, right now I have this Kale artifact, and the reason I don't want to use it is because this has us higher CV, and also you know, has something that's not being used on another character, because I really need to use this one because other characters are using something else. So I go here, I click on the Alhaitham goblet I want to use, I click switch, and boom, now I have the goblet that I actually want to use, and I'm going to do that for all the pieces up here. So now that I've switched everything, I can simply hit equip, and that is the loadout system for Genshin Impact. And my god, like bro, 5 menus to figure out what I want to do with this thing. And I can't, by the way, this is current patch 5.6. There is no loadout system. Now in 5.7, which what we're going to talk about, is that over here, we can now finally save at least 2 loadouts per character. So you still need to do this entire thing just to figure out where your artifacts are at. But now you can finally just save it. And this is so far over the entire year or 2 years of proper development in this. Like, I know we joke about having asked for this for 5 years, right? And of course they didn't start development in this until 2 years ago, and it was all bait, right? But now finally we can actually save a preset. So again, what is it, all those instructions I just put are going to be posted on Twitter with extra text explanations as to why, because again, it's very important to me that people understand how this system works, because technically it does exist. It's just that getting to that point is so frustratingly complicated when you could just have a menu that lets you press the button, you know, for example, a certain game. We'll get to that, but yeah, here you go. You can finally just do the entire process I explained to you. They're doing it inside this GIF, and you can also do a filter scheme as well, you know, something very similar to HSR, but you're just gonna add it manually. Characters are so varied in Genshin. What is it? And then boom, 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 and now you can finally add to what you want. And this one's just re-explaining that, oh yes, you can actually customize the specific one you want, which I mean, okay, I mean, yeah, we know that. That's great, Paimon, but this is just so frustrating. And it's part of the reason, again, why I talked about earlier, I stopped doing these dev notes, because for the past year they have quite literally been doing this stuff, right? This stuff where it's like, oh, let's do, first it was all the way back to just quick configuration where it's like nothing, right? Literally all you do is that you click it and then the game generates a loadout that it thinks you want, and it's like, no, that's not what I want. So now after a few months, you know, and I want to say this timeline is relative to the end of 4.0 into 5.0. So first it was this, then they added this, right? And then you had to wait until you could actually customize and change the alternatives. And now 2 years later, after proper development, this is finally a loadout function that works with the next update in the next 2 weeks. All of that when we could really just have something so simple. I'm so for real. And that's like, it's annoying for one thing to not really develop what the players are asking for. It's another thing for turning developers discussion, which is supposed to be a genuine talk with the audience and showing that you are actually improving the game, to I'm gonna bait you because we can, because they have used this word loadout so many times in the last year for things like the fast equip function that I just talked about, right? And it's not a loadout, right? Like, you not only, like, at the moment, right, as of this recording, and of course now it's different because of this dev note that we're reading, that I can change it to actually what I want, and that's ridiculous. And that's why you can see where my frustration lies in not really bothering to cover these, because not only are they doing sort of like just clickbait, right, and also doing things like, you know, like adding other features that just like nobody cares about, dude. And it's unfortunate too, because again, no shade to any single person who is in this comment section, because people should not have to feel that they read something and then it's like, oh, they finally fixed it, thank God. They don't have to read any further, right? They should be able to trust what the devs are saying, because that's the point of developer discussion. So you can see all this positivity in here, and then you realize when you actually like understand how the system works, this is dog. Like, this is annoying as heck. And unfortunately, and especially why I want to make this video, is that this is probably the best you're gonna get, guys. Like, if you have been someone who has been at artifact loadout advocate like myself for like the past like years, then this is their answer, and this is probably what you have. Not to say that it can't be improved, because of course they still have at least like 4 years of the game to go, but still, like, dude, this is rough. But hey, It exists, it works, and if you ever are confused on how to do it, I'm going to leave a Twitter thread, Reddit thread, etc. with the pictures so you can understand how the whole system works. So again, enough yap about that. In summary, the function works. You have to press all those buttons, filter through the scheme, and then customize and check alternatives, and then hit the save button, and now you have an artifact loadout that you can permanently have on your character. And it's a lot of hassle, but it works. It's just really annoying, okay? But it does exist. It's very okay if you're someone like me who is going to state that, hey, as much as I'm happy that you added it finally, it's way too much stuff when you could have just had I want to customize my set, click it, instead of having to have the game tell me what I want to do, what they want to do with my artifacts. Anyways, this update, again, it's not all terrible. There is some stuff that is interesting. So let's talk about Spiral Abyss. So retry challenge button became auto claim abyssal stars. So if you didn't know, the abyss a long time ago was updated so that it can instantly clear floors, assuming you always clear floor 12. So now you can automatically clear the stars. And also what is it? Yeah, so you can see right here, there's the stars bounty automatically claimed, and then there's also the retry challenge button if you frick up, which also existed there. What is it? But you know, I want it's just in a more convenient spot, so it's a lot easier to do so. So you can instantly retry, and then you can also instantly claim all your stuff, because having to reopen the abyss portal every time to claim your rewards is super annoying. It's like, why don't you just give it to me right away, man? Because you know, with the other games it's not a problem because they have smoother menus, but the Spiral Abyss, you have to enter an entire animation just to get inside, open the door, and then you can claim your rewards, which is annoying. So yeah, good improvements overall for the Spiral Abyss. That's great. What is it? Moving on to other interface features and optimizations, test run and character talent optimizations, a new character role explanation added. So you can press this little button here in test run or talent demo. So this has always been sort of the tutorial button and character talent pages to read information explaining the new characters, core combat role and skills. So confidential content, it's Skirk, Lamau. Yeah, so but basically you can just hit there's a little tutorial button inside the test run, so now it's a little easier to explain what every talent does, and that's good because tutorials have never really been that good in Genshin. So at least when you're able to read you know, all the character stuff inside said test run, it's a little better. Additionally, when you're leveling up, the game doesn't kick you out you know, whenever you're trying to level stuff and have like a really big pop-up. It's just click the button and I can level. That's it. Super duper easy. Of course, has to show you a preview with what materials you're using. That makes sense. You know, you don't want players to be clicking buttons that they don't know what they do. What is it? But yeah, super duper simple. All right, moving on. Claiming UI optimized for multiple resin types. So whenever you go claim something, you have all types of resin, right? You have your teapot resin, you have your condensed resin, you have your original resin. It's all over the place. And to menu to any of these things, you had to click twice if you wanted to actually use it on whatever you were looking for. So as you can see now, it's just going to be original resin, condensed, and burn a transcendent to throw it into the thing. So that's amazing. So now I no longer have to like click a bunch of buttons to figure out where my resin is. I can just click a button. It's that easy. What is it? And you can also check available transient resin in the top right corner, blah blah blah. What is it? So right there, if you're ever worried about where it is. All right, adventuring handbook, enemies optimization, one tap tracking for ley line outcrops. So these are the ley line outcrops, and looks like you can actually now search via region instead of having to search on the map, because basically it's the money and the level up materials, and instead of having to open the map and then navigate around and find it, because especially the gold or Mora outcrops, is that I had a lot of trouble finding these in Leeway and Natlan because their maps are yellow, and these will sometimes be on top of yellow spots, and it's like, where is it? I can't find it. So now you can literally just go in here. You can pick recommend, or you can pick it by region, and then you can just go to where you want. It's that simple. It's super duper nice. Another thing, selecting target box in the adventurer's handbook, you can view its trait resistance, weaknesses, and other archive details. This is so big. I have talked about this since the start of Genshin, because all enemies in the game have some sort of inherent resistance or some sort of special mechanic, and especially because how Genshin has chosen to design the game after 4.0 is making so enemies have specific mechanics where if you don't bring the correct counter, you will literally die. What is it? And this is super annoying because it exists only sometimes in Imaginarium Theater. It doesn't exist in Spiral Abyss. It doesn't exist in the overworld, so there's not really a place to learn these places or these specific things about enemies besides reading the Genshin fandom wiki, which is not that great, mind you, and HoYoLab wiki, don't even get me started. You ain't helping, buddy. But this is super duper important to have. And it's super nice, and hopefully the tutorials are useful, right? Of course you could like, oh, check the tutorial menu, dude. I'm not scrolling through 500 tutorials to find this because the search function sucks. What is it? So yeah, it's really good that these are here. These need to be added to the Abyss. Seriously, add this to Spiral Abyss. It's really dumb that this exists for Imaginarium Theater and not Spiral Abyss, because Spiral Abyss is the one where it matters the most, because you literally can get to a floor and then lose because you can't fight the enemy. Oh my. Anyway, oh, finally, one of the biggest updates that we have wanted. Chat system upgrade, emoji management optimization. There are 5 billion emojis inside the game, and you can't find all of them because they decide to sort them in release order instead of the order that you want, because it's something that you want to do. So in the chat screen, new version, tap the settings, enter the emoji group management, where you can favorite, hide, or sort both emoji groups and individual emojis. So yeah, you can also hide emoji groups now. So look at all these paintings. For example, I don't want the Toma emojis. Get them out of here. All right, boom, I can get rid of it. And then boom, I can also star set emoji groups, and then I can also sort them as much as I want, and I can also move around my favorites. I got so many more. Thank God. It has been so annoying because I do a lot of TCG stuff, right? And by the way, that's what I'm occupied with at the moment. I'm doing TCG stuff over on GATCG, check that in the description, with the international tournament. But you communicate a lot with emojis because, you know, sometimes you're talking with international people, or that's just, it's funny, right? They're cute, they're very nice, but goddamn was it an ass to sort. It sucks. Anyway, what is it? You can also use party chat and mention at teammates, so you can tag people like Discord with the mention. It's like, hey, at Kodo Creations, get over here, I need you to pick this fruit or something, right? It's really, really nice. Moving on to another highly anticipated feature, unfortunately only for mobile, but hey, I mean, I'll make use of that. I do have the game on mobile now. Quest resource management iteration, another improvement to mobile storage controls. So since the loss of the quest resource management, again, this has been in the game for a long time, dev teams have been listening to travelers' feedback and mobile storage. With this upgrade, travelers now have way more freedom to organize their quest resources. No more storage headaches. After version 5.7, after downloading, you can choose between downloading full resources or basic resources only. So I'm absolutely doing this on my phone because, what is it? What do I need full resources for, bro? I don't need that. I just go in to spend my resin. I'm going to go on with basic resources. So now you have a download plan. A lot of games do this. This is super nice. It's available on mobile. What is it? If you choose the basic resources only resources, Archon quest stories and hangout events will automatically download it. Blah, 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 blah. It's the story quest, okay? What is it? How will affect that things want to go further in the game? If you want to go further in the quest, just hit the download button for quests or full resources. This system will guide you through the process of sorting your account status, and if you have an ongoing quest in anything, to help you immersify your experience. So this is exactly what people want. You can just download the quest that you want. Do you want to play this quest right now? Oh, just hit the download button. This is incredible. And also, you can, of course, this is the thing that already exists, you can additionally manage your quest from settings to resources, and then you can clear it and whatever you want. But again, this is only mobile. Only mobile. You cannot do this on PC yet, so please, hoyoverse and all that is holy, please put this on PC. Genshin is literally 100 gigabytes right now. It's too big. What is it? And especially, what is it, if you made the mistake of downloading other language packs like I did to do voice testing and voice recording, it's gigantic. My Genshin is 147 gigabytes. I cannot uninstall this game lest I never want to play it again, because if you want to reinstall this game, it requires double the space. So I'd say, relatively speaking, Genshin is about like 120 gigs, right? If I uninstalled it, I'm going to have to spend 240 gigabytes, 240 just to reinstall the game. And like, of course, the mobile version's a lot better, but still, oh, please, this is an amazing update, and this is exactly what people have been asking for. Please add it to PC, I beg you. Yes, but that is going to be the end for this dev notes. And let's just kind of summarize, right? Artifact loadouts, finally. Abyss improvements, that's good. Enemy improvements and enemy Wikipedia, that's really good and something we've been asking for. Emoji, scripting, stickers, etc. So much better. Oh my god. And of course, resource management for mobile players. Mobile players still have to struggle with resources. Phones do not have that much storage, so it is overall a really good update. And Genshin, literally, main man, I beg you. This is cool. I'm really glad that the artifact loadouts exist now, and I would like to see it function in game, because that's how we have to treat these dev notes. We have to see it in game to believe it. But so far, with what it says, it does seem to function like a loadout. But again, having to go through this entire process, I did not have to make a presentation just to explain how this works. I really shouldn't have. You could just make it so that this customization screen that you've shown in this menu, right, is just available and able to click as often as you want, man. Like, I don't know why I still have to go through the game telling me that they know what loadouts I want over what I set for my characters, because I know what my account is and the computer doesn't. Anyway, that's it. Again, really long rant, and again, I'm not gonna make these videos very consistently unless developer discussion starts picking up the slack in terms of actually making their dev notes something substantial. And this is an incredibly substantial dev note. They really did do a lot of improvements that are amazing, but it's very important that these things like this are understood, especially to me, by the people, because you shouldn't just take, unfortunately, you can't take the developer discussion at base value anymore, because they started to use it as clickbait for the past year, and that is definitely just my main frustration with it overall. But again, enough ranting. Thank you all so much for watching. What is it? We do a lot of our stuff here, and I really need to catch up on Wuwa because I'm super duper far behind. Genshin, I'll think about doing the Archon quests. Again, a lot of things are happening inside the community and whatnot, but of course, over at GHCCG, I'm going to be streaming the international tournament. I'm the producer, so I'm just going to be in the back doing stuff, and then the casters will do their thing. So be sure to check that out, but that's going to cover most of my week. So I'll probably do some Wuwa sometime this week, and then next week I'll be pretty busy, but otherwise, that's pretty much it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed. And remember, all the explanations that I put in that little presentation are going to be available on Twitter, Reddit, etc. So if you're ever confused as to how it works, just go ahead and check that out. But again, thank you all so much for watching this, once in a while Genshin Impact video, and I'm going to see you guys later. Goodbye.